Bruh. Are you serious? Oh, actually, this is a lot harder than I thought. You just have to calculate the surface area. So 4. Is it really just that? Why is it taking forever? I don't like these constraints. These constraints might screw us over a little bit. Where's the submit button? Oh, it's up here. I don't even use it anymore. Yeah. 9. I wonder if this works. Okay, it doesn't. Wait, what? Ooh. Yeah, something like that. Oh, wait, I need to do n minus minus. I wonder. I don't think this is gonna pass. Oh, never mind. Super slow though. How do we optimize this? Okay, so now we know it's a pattern. There's definitely some calculation you can make. So if we invert this, there's definitely a way to calculate this. How do we calculate this? We have four. Four. This runs the length of n. So everything else. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see, hint. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Okay. I brute forced it. Iterative addition, that's what I did. That's crazy. Is that really it? That's wild. Just did some math. Interesting. Okay. I need the quizzes. Where are the quizzes? What the heck? There we go. Quiz, there we go. The equals operator will compare for equality after doing any necessary type conversions. The strict equality operator will not do type conversions, so two values are not the same type, it will simply return false. Okay. Loose, type coercion, no. Compares value and type, no, yes. Okay, strict. I think it's best practice to just always use the triple though. Yeah. 42 equals 42 equals true. 0. This is a falsy. This is a falsy, that's true. Falsy, falsy, true. Falsy, falsy, true. Falsy, falsy, true. Okay. This is interesting that this works as well. Oh, because it just converts it to a string. Falsy, falsy. Falsy, falsy. These are really tricky ones right here. Yeah. Unintuitive results. Generally, never use the, okay. Except for convenience when comparing against null and defined. No. I think they're, like, prettier. You can just make it. Use the strict equality operator. Checks for equality between two values without performing type coercion. This means that both the value and the type must be the same. False. 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 For comparisons, no type conversion is referring to the same return false. Yep. There's one final value comparison operation within JavaScript, that is the object.is static method. The only difference between object.is and the strict equality operator is how they treat the sign zeros of not available number. Not, is that what it stands for? Not available number? Conclusion, just never use the double. Okay. I know this, but I'm just going to read. In React, state is local data storage that is managed within a component and can change over time, while props is read-only attributes passed from the parent component to a child component. State is used for data that changes within a component, whereas props is used to pass data and event handlers to child components. Okay. State is built in React components that hold data information about the component. It is managed within the component and can change over time, usually in response to user actions or network responses. When the state changes, the component re-renders to reflect the new state. Not necessarily, does it? State is local to the component, cannot be accessed from, yep. State can be initialized in the constructor of a class. State can be initialized in the constructor of a class component or using the useState hook, yep. in a functional component, state changes are asynchronous and should be done using the setState method in class components. What does that mean, state changes are asynchronous? This is a class-based component, yeah. Functional component, there we go. This is what we want. You can do prev count here too. Increment. All right, class. In a class-based component, functional-based component. Read-only attributes passed from parent component to child component. They're used to pass data. Event handlers down the component tree. Perhaps are immutable, meaning they cannot be changed by a child component. But you can send functions through as props. So props allow components to be reusable by passing different data to them. Wait. Yes. Props can be used to pass functions as well, enabling child components to communicate with parent components. Yep. Class component. We pass in the message here, and then we print out the message. It's basically the same thing. Yeah. State is okay. That's cake. What is the difference between JavaScript, a variable that is null, undefined, or undeclared? Undeclared. Null just means the variable is empty. Undeclared means the variable doesn't exist. And undefined means we haven't declared it. Explicitly set by the developer to indicate the variable has no value. Variable has not been declared but as assigned a value. Oh, variable has been declared but not assigned a value. Variable has not been. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Type. It's an object type, undefined type, undefined type. Null is undefined is true. Null equals undefined is true. Undefined equals null is true. There's a reference error. Okay. When you assign a value to an identifier that is not previously created using var, let, or const. Undeclared variables will be defined globally outside of the current scope. In strict mode, reference error will be thrown out. Okay. Let's see. Console.log x. Yeah, it has no idea what x is, right? Interesting. Oh, I see. It has no idea what x is when x is 1 here. Let foo. Foo is undefined. We haven't assigned anything to it. That's true. Type of foo equals undefined true. Foo does not equal. Oh, this is the loosely coupled one. Yeah. If it was the triple, if it was the strict equality operator, it would be cooked. Function bar returns undefined if there's nothing returned. Undefined. Okay, nice. Null. And then we set null, of course. Foo does equal null. Foo does equal object. Food is, yeah, this is true too. Cool. Yeah, we have number string, Boolean, undefined, symbol. I don't really work with symbol that often. Object, array, function, date, regular expression, map, set. Number, string, Boolean, undefined, null, symbol. Is a unique and immutable primitive value typically used as the key for an object property. Okay. With arbitrary precision? What does that even mean? An object is literally anything. Array is an array, function, date, regex, map. Yeah. It's like a hash map, and then we have a hash set here. What the heck? This is so stupid. Jeez. Map has keys and values. Objects have just data. Key types, key ordering, serialization. Okay. Debouncing? Debouncing is like preventing a call from being called multiple times within a certain period of time. And then throttling. Actually, I'm not really sure what the definition of throttling is. Yeah. It's like, it's a form of rate limiting. Yep. This function's called that mode. Oh, okay. Aren't those kind of the same thing? I'm having a difficult time trying to. Jeez, there's so many. This is a terrible example. Can't you just debounce the button though? That clears things up. Would you ever want to throttle and receive when you can just so they never reach your servers. Oh, like a message queue. Oh. This is a great example. This is a great example. Okay. Yeah, that was a great example. Ow. It's scalable vector graphs or whatever. Scalable vector graphics, yeah. Yeah, it's basically like how to draw. Yep. JavaScript notation, right? Oh, JavaScript XML. Oh my gosh. Quiz. Let's get rid of this. Alright, so most of the benefits of React, before I open it, most of the benefits of React is like you have generic HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and whenever you perform state updates on the front end with those technologies, there are, if you want something that has like an animation or something that's computationally intensive on the front end, your generic HTML, CSS, and JavaScript will cause a lot of reflows and repaintings of the UI itself. And what React can do is it can batch those updates together and then push it to the front end using the virtual DOM. Yeah, it's also the virtual DOM that helps a lot too. Virtual DOM, baby. You describe the desired state of UI based on, yeah, it's declarative, component based. It does something with the diff too. It basically just takes the virtual DOM and diffs it with the actual DOM to be able to batch the updates with the repaints and reflows of the UI of the HTML. Component-based architecture. React encourages breaking down UI. Yep. Components can be easily reused across different parts. Maintainable changes isolated, reducing the risk of unintended. Yep. Easier to test. Diffing, I told you. Mm-hmm. Nice. React knows any renderable unit, such as element, string, number, or null. React element is function or class that returns React elements, enabling creation of, yeah. Basically a line of code. That's a node. Element is like, yeah, div. Or an anchor. React component. Yep. A functional component, class-based component. Okay, cool. This is important. JavaScript XML. It's syntax extension for JavaScript that allows you to write HTML-like code within JavaScript. Allowing you to write what looks like HTML directly in your JavaScript code under the hood. JSX is transformed into JavaScript function calls, typically using a tool like Babel. Interesting. It's a more intuitive way of, okay. Okay. Isn't it like an ID? Yeah, it is. Keep track of elements in the state. Opening bugs. Without unique keys, React may re-render. Okay. By using unique keys, React minimizes the number of DOM operations thinking out. Oh, okay. Yeah. You just make it the ID. Nice. Jeez. Okay, it's pretty high level, but I know this stuff. It's a layer between the DOM and the client, right? Yeah. They're not unique. But this is a very niche question. Oh yeah, so if the entire hierarchy will change, that's why we want to use Redux. I guess that's an argument for Redux. I never really understood the arguments for Redux until now, I guess. This is if you have highly dependent component structures, though. Yeah. To be honest, though, Redux doesn't make it much better to debug, in my opinion. Okay. Use effect, but that, see, like, this consolidation caused use effect to be super complicated with the dependency array. It does it cleaner, though. Never inside conditions? I feel like I've done this before. Actually, maybe I haven't. I can't. I wouldn't like be overly concerned if I. Oh, declaring the hooks. Wait. Yeah, of course you shouldn't declare hooks and conditionals. That's dumb. Yeah, you shouldn't do this either. Okay, this makes sense. Yeah, linters. You pass the function that takes in the previous state. Oh, that's what. Okay, okay, that's why. Okay, you can get race conditions if you don't. Okay. Dependency array. I know a little bit about this. If it's empty, it's whenever. Oh no, just on render. Actually, I don't know. When it's full, when you have values within the dependency array, the use effect runs whenever those values change. When you have an empty dependency array, it's on initial render, and then when you don't have a dependency array, what do? I don't know. I want to say it's on mount and unmount. Okay, initial render and every other render. Use effect hook in React is used to perform side effects in functional components. These side effects can include data fetching subscriptions or manually changing the DOM. The use effect hook takes two arguments: a function that contains the side effect logic and an optional dependency array. Okay. Yeah, dependency 1, dependency 2, function. Once after initial render, it's similar to component did mount. Yep. Yeah. Whenever these values change, React performs a shell comparison of the dependencies to determine if they have changed. Yeah, so you can't just do the object reference, you have to do the field variables. Stale closures. If you use state or props inside the effect without including them in the dependency array, you might end up with stale values. Set interval console count log count. Yeah. Yep, beautiful. Functions as dependencies. Functions are recreated on. When do you ever want to use functions as dependencies? I'll let this cook. What's a use layout effect? I've never heard of that actually. In React, use effect dependency array determines when the effect runs. Functions are reference values in JavaScript, meaning they can change every render unless memoized. Functions are reference values in JavaScript, meaning they change on every render unless memoized. This can lead to unnecessary re-renders. Adding a function to the use effect is appropriate in specific cases where the function itself changes due to the state or prop changes. When a function is defined inside the component, it relies on props or state. If a function depends on props or state, it should be in the dependency array so that the use effect reruns when the function definition changes. Okay, let's look at this. Data, set data, use state, fetch user data. We're fetching the data. Why not just put user ID in the... How does it know it's dependent on user ID? Why can't you just put user ID here? Yeah. This is just so much complexity. Yeah. But be careful. No, it wouldn't, because then you could just do it by user ID still. Okay, that's absolutely done. Interesting. You should never have that in the first place, I feel like. It's before the painting of the UI. Use ref. It's just a storage, isn't it? Oh, persist across renders. Access. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, that makes sense. Memorize functions? When you pass a function as a prop to a child component. Let's see. Handle click, handle click. I guess that's how it works. Oh my gosh, jeez. I'm not too concerned with that. Memorize values. Like authentication, maybe? Hmm. Clear state. Okay. I'm not tripping about the rest of these.